Behold, Mick, the iPhone of 5 years ago. That's my Apple presentation, which I guess is getting started. Welcome to Shoulder Tap. I'm Jack. Mick is back in the office. What's going on, Mr. Mick?
Back on TV too. It's been a while since I've been on Shoulder Tap, and I'm feeling a little nervous this morning, Jack. Feeling a little rusty. So we'll see how it goes. I might need a little bit of hand holding, but for all the viewers out there, nice to be back with you and be a little patient, show a little grace with me today. Jack, what was the purpose of the iPhone? Did I miss something from a previous segment? You showing the old iPhone?
I guess it's one of those Apple, I don't know what you call it, summits where they announce like what they're doing with the headphones and stuff like that. I personally, I don't know about you, but I ride my phones into the ground as long as they're still working, right? So I literally I've had this iPhone since before we started at Topstep, and when it stops working, I will get a new one.
I do the same thing with my iPhones, or to date I've done the same thing. I always wait until if it can't hold a battery charge for a day with how little I use it. It's like once the battery starts going, that's when I upgrade. And when I upgrade, I don't get the latest and greatest. I usually go a couple versions, back to get like the discount. I trade it in, pay $200, own the phone, don't do any of that leasing stuff.
hmm
Until recently with my last one, when I knew I was going to have a daughter, right before that, I was like deleting old photos and videos to like free up space on my phones because I never had too much storage. And I was like, all right, no more screwing around. I'm going to take a lot of baby pictures. I'm getting the latest and greatest. So I'm rocking like the 14 Pro, I think, and that was the only time I got like the latest and greatest.
Very nice. Well,
Yeah.
speaking of latest and greatest, how the markets are screaming higher. How are our funded traders doing today?
Well, we have a lot of people, and I'm not even going to be listing them all off, but we got a lot of live traders now. We've called up a lot of people to the live accounts recently, and there's a lot of big P&Ls to share, a couple which I'm going to be sharing today. One of our live traders that we're featuring was up 16,000. We'll get into that on the first card. We've currently got somebody who, at the time I was writing this, was up to 18,000. They're up 20,000 in their live account now. So other than those people we'll be talking about, just some of the big P&Ls. We got Raul up 8,700, Kiyoshi up 5,500, David's up 3,900, Augustin 6,600, Yanis up 6,000, and then Pay up 6,000 as well in their live accounts today. A lot of other small four-figure numbers for the day, so people are catching this move. Very happy for a Monday. It's always what I like to see coming in. On the flip side, though, we have a bunch of people that are down in the small four-figure range as well. But overall, for the winning traders today, we're seeing some good P&Ls. With that, I'd like to talk about our first card. Jack and I were joking about this a little bit earlier. This is one of our live traders who wants to go by Anonymous. Let's pull up his card. And I told Jack, I don't know for any of you Adam Sandler fans out there who have seen Big Daddy, every time I see or hear Anonymous, I think about Rob Schneider from Big Daddy, Anonymous. And okay, I'm opening myself up to get laughed at here, but there's that line where they're doing the cards of the animals, and there's a hippo on there, and guys doing, or well, fish, pony, and then goes to the hippo, and he's like hip hop anonymous for hippopotamus. So we've got Hip Hop Anonymous here, who's a big swinger. They've been in their account for 40 days now in the live account. And I mentioned this was the trader earlier, Jack, that was up 16 grand. This trader, as you always like to comment, has some issues locking in big winning days when they have them. If you look at the trading card I sent you for Anonymous. But today, this trader was up 16,000 because they have issues. The risk team, as we see these traders in their accounts, we can kind of get a feel for who locks in big profits, who might have big profits and lets those large profits escape. So today we intervened, talked to this trader. They kept about 25% of their equity high for the day, or their net P&L high for the day of 16 grand. We flattened them at plus 4,000 on the day after they gave back 75% of their significant profits. And then we disabled the account for the rest of the day. So they cannot trade anymore, ensuring that locking in a good day. And we got to call a good day a good day. And while we'd love to capture more of $16,000 for a single trading day, walking away up $4,000 is not as bad as a poke in the eye with a sharp stick. So,
Mhm.
so that's good. It's not bad money management. Could have been better, but hey, we're still walking around $4,000, and that's nothing to scoff at. So, anonymous here, like I mentioned, 40 days in the 40 days in the live account. They're trading S&Ps and NASDAQ, and relatively a big swinger here, Jack. We see a lot of
Yes.
large winning days. We also see a lot of $3,000 daily loss limit days. I'm happy they got the daily loss limit at $3,000 still. We normally see slippage on those $3,000 losing days, but take a look at some of the metrics here. Only their net P&L $1,700. Pretty good over 40 days. Best day, though, is over $41,000. The worst day, not too much past 3,000 with a little bit of slippage. Average winning day here, and there's not a lot of winning days, but the average winning day here is $23,800. And the average losing day, as I've kind of already alluded to, is where it's at. This is pretty good stuff. If you look at the card, Jack, you'll see there's a lot of $3,000 losing streaks, to the tune of like many of them where they're seeing, $12,000, $15,000 losing streaks on a pretty regular basis over these 40 days in the live account. So, while that's not too great to see, at least there's these winning days to make up for that. If you didn't have the big winning days, you wouldn't see this, but this is what we see out of a big swinger who, is trading how they trade. Throughout the course of this account, they're sitting right around, well, with today's win, they're a little over $50,000. They have traded in XFAs simultaneously alongside this live account. So some of the performance from one of these XFAs has us giving, a cash injection from XFA of about $31,000. Anonymous did take a really nice payout. They took half of their account balance high early on in the account last month. So that was about a $66,000 payout that they've taken. So all in all, they're taking money out of the markets. They're doing okay. The numbers show that they're doing okay. I'd like to see a little bit better stuff on the trading side. At 21% winning days. Their average winning trade, they've got decent risk reward on a per trade basis. It's about 3-1, making about $1,000 a day or $1,000 per winning trade, while only risking about $300 per winning trade. But there's areas to focus on here, Jack, and I'm sure you can see it very evidently here in the trade report. But like I'd mentioned, kind of killing those losing streaks, stopping, if you're stringing together a couple $3,000 winning days, if you're down $10,000 after 3 trading days, even if you've got a big account and you can afford it, that should be a little bit of an indication that, something needs to change. Even if you got $100,000 in your trading account and you find yourself down $10,000 on a week, or in the first 3 trading days of a week, that's a 10% haircut there. So with where their account's at now, a little over $50,000, a $10,000 loss on a week is 20% of the account. And unless you're, putting up these $41,000 winning days, or the average winning day at $23,000, $24,000, that should be a little eye-opening and something to think about. Is there anything you have to comment on, as I got very long-winded, before
You're
I
back,
kind of
Mick.
say
You're back.
Yeah, I'm back. Well, that makes me think of that might be something I need to think about now that I'm back on the segment. I don't want to take up too much of the time, but before I get to the one thing that I like, why don't you share what you think, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, you got to have the big days where, at 3,000 a pop, 20%. So you're losing 12K at least for every big day. It's working for now. It's hard for me to comment too. There's a few things that pop out to me on this. I mean, like one that's super interesting. You talk about a hell of a trading day. I almost don't even want to say this because I think it'll give people the wrong idea, but I just want to point this out because it stuck out to me. Is on August 29th, the anonymous person anonymously made $17,500, and a high flat was up $19,200. At one point on the day, their low P&L flat was down 23.55, which means with a 600 and change left in their account, they made $20,000. No, $23,000 pretty much because it came back. Uh, I, I would have to know more about their fills, but they've already won the account. They're taking payouts. Can't argue with that, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think that kind of lines up to a degree with the one thing that I do like about this account, and that's or like about this trading style, I should say, is they're riding out the winning trades, they're riding out the winners. So I think Anonymous comes in. They've got a bias for the direction for the day. They slap it on. If it doesn't work in the small little wiggle room that they give themselves, it's a daily loss limit. And if it works out, we're averaging $24,000 on the winning days. So there's kind of an example where they had the bias. They almost got stopped out on the day there, and then the market turned in their favor, and they stuck to their guns. That day you mentioned, they spent 18 minutes in their losing trades and 2 hours and 5 minutes in the winning trades. So,
Hmm.
they wrote it out. If you're trading large size and you're holding positions for a while, you're going to see big losses. You're going to see big wins. And yeah, I think they got Anonymous got out of there by the hair on the hippopotamus's chinny chin chin that day.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right.
Well, was there anything else you wanted to say here, or do we want to go to the next card?
No, I'm ready to move on to Darcy. If we could pull her up.
Yeah, do it.
So Darcy's a little bit different than what we had out of Anonymous here. Darcy got called up from an XFA to a live account after just 10 short trading days. Darcy hit the $50,000 cap on this XFA with good performance. So 5 out of 10 winners, 50% winning days overall, but she had a $50,000 cap. So those 5 winning days were pretty massive to hit the 50,000. What I like here is 100K account size. So they've got a $2,000 daily loss limit. 5 of the days they hit the 2,000 loss, so that's 10,000 in losses total. And then the other 5 days, made up all of that and more to get to the $50,000 cap. So they've got some staggering numbers here. Best day, 18,500. Average winning day, about $12,000 and change there. Relatively active here, at 13 trades per day. Risk reward on a per trade basis is a little bit lopsided, but I know that this trader, with the number of contracts they're doing, they're kind of scaling in and scaling out. Hold times for the account overall are, they're also catching a piece of the trend for the day, like Anonymous. 30 minutes spent in the winning trades, 44 minutes spent in the losing trades across the 3 equity indices that they're trading. I do like seeing that someone's trading the small caps here. We don't always have traders in the Russell. It's predominantly the NASDAQ and the S&Ps. But, I don't have a whole heck of a lot to share here other than on a daily basis, this trader is making it work. If you can
It
take out, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I was gonna throw out real quick. In 10 days isn't the largest sample size, and I don't know. Based on what I've seen, I almost want to say just in terms of numbers versus like risk took and stuff like this might be the best card I've seen on shoulder tap. In that big, we're talking like the 5 days were all down 2,000, but so what? There's only 10. Let me rattle off the others.
Yeah, we talk about
Made
risk reward. We talk
huge.
about risk
Made
reward a lot on the. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to
Oh, no
cut you
problem.
off,
I
Jack.
was gonna let you cook. But just let me read this really quick. From the start of account, first day, made 6,500. Second day, down 2,000 DLL. Next day, up 5,600. Next day, down 2,000, then down 2,000, then down 2,000, then up 18,500, then down 2,000, then up 15,000, then up 14,000. Uh, the winning day to average, you see right there, the 18,000 average winning day to $2,000 losing day. That's insane.
Yeah, we're talking almost 9 to 1 there. We talk about risk reward on a per trade basis a lot. We don't always break down that ratio on a winning day to losing day, but yeah, it's almost 9 to 1, like at least 8 to 1 risk reward uh, on a daily basis, which is incredible. So
Mm.
I like this account size for that trader. If you're seeking out the trend for the day, even if you're only spending 30 minutes on average in the holds, and you can scale in to add to the winners, it's your odds of getting these metrics are much better scaling into the winners than slapping on your max position size and having your back up against the wall. So if you can kind of take a little heat when it's going against you, but then you put the pedal down when it's working in your favor, it's much more likely you find yourself having metrics like this. So this is pretty good, and why I wanted to feature Darcy.
Great stuff. Let me go,
All
Darcy.
right, last but not least, got another live trader who spent 49 days in their live account, and this is the guy who was up 18,000 and then 20,000 last I looked. Let's put up the trading
My
card for Kai
friend.
Chung.
My friend.
So this is kind of an interesting card. I mentioned they're doing really well today. Like Darcy, I think that they're right in the right account size here. It's a 50K account, Jack, so they've only got the $1,000 daily loss limit, and I certainly believe that that is helping them out with how many losing days that this person puts up. 92% losing days because we only got the 8% winning days, and 80%, 81% losing trades with only 19% winning trades. So they are not right very often. But when they are right, they let it ride. And, you don't have to be the sharpest tool in the shed to make money in this business, but you got to manage your money well. And while there's certainly some opportunities to manage the trades better, your setups better, this is panning out pretty nicely for them.
Well, you mentioned that Kai Chun is up today, correct?
Yeah,
Like 16K. That's a very
20K.
20K. Okay, that is a very momentous occasion for Kai Chun because
Yeah, it is.
you can't make this up. That'll be 50 days in the account, and assuming that Kai Chun closes today above $200, which God, I hope he does, he will be eligible to take a payout finally after 50 days. Ring the alarm. Kai Chun, please take a substantial payout at this point. You will qualify for it today. Please do it. I will have a uh, aneurysm live on air in 50, a couple months from now if there's no payout and we bleed out on, 40, $50,000 losing days or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I mentioned how I like the metrics and stuff. I mean, realistically, these 50 days with an average daily P&L of $100. I mean, it doesn't have them that far ahead from where they started in their account 50 days ago. They did get a nice, like Anonymous, the first card. Kai Chung did get a nice cash injection from another XFA that they had while their live account was being traded. So we moved 25,000 over in addition to this, so that kind of doubled their account size from where they started off at. But I like that there's 4 trades per day here, Jack. So they've got whatever their strategy is. It's a selective system that they're running. and all these long holds are pretty good. 4 hours and 45 minutes spent in their average winning trades. And they're only trading the NASDAQ, no micros or anything like that to influence the hold times on these cards or these trades, I should say. So, there's some really good stuff here. But, we also need to always, our main focus should really be on how we can be getting better day in and day out. So we always want to give ourselves a pat on the back for things we're doing well, profitability. And after 50 days in in an industry that's this difficult, to say that you've done a little bit better than treading water over 50 trading days is certainly a positive and a good thing, and why I wanted to feature, one of the reasons why I wanted to feature Kai Chung, who I know I've talked about before on this segment.
Yeah, I think we did once when you were out too. Well, congrats, Kai Chun, on getting this level. Now take the payout. Please, 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 please take a payout.
I'm with you there.
Well, Mick, those are 3 cards. Welcome back, man. Excited to see you in a few days, I guess.
Yes, I look forward to it. We got some golf on Wednesday. I'm hoping that my hits go a little bit straighter than last time we played. Jack took me out to Oak Park, and I found all the oak trees I was joking about.
I think we all
All
did
the
that
oak
day, but it
trees
was a
in
good
Oak Park.
time.
Yeah, that was a lot
Yeah.
of fun. It was a lot of fun. You're a very generous host.
Oh, thank you, Mick. And thank you all for sticking around for the shoulder tapping right now. If you stick around a little further, we got group coaching next with JD and Robert, and then Strategy Lab with Anne Marie and the crew, and Mohammed will be on during Power Hour today. So don't come crying to Mohammed if you miss that. We'll be back just after this. Stay trading.